there's so many things that we have no idea that could be the benefit from the sun. I think there's much more than we even study, even know about. It's just that let's start with good melatonin production, good infrared, good vitamin D production. And so I think that affects everything in the body.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
What's the best way to tan in the summer?
Very common question. Well, you got to remember, anything in excess, including sun, can create some oxidative stress and damage to tissue. So don't do that. I always tell people, try to get some sunlight every single day. And first of all, when you first get out sun, try to avoid the hottest times of day, which roughly can be between noon and 2, noon and 3, depending on where you live. But the idea is this, is no matter where you are, okay, there's different cultures. Like myself being more Irish, we are a little bit more susceptible to burn. So I'm going to go into the sun very minimally and build up till I get some good old melanin production and get a little darker that way. And therefore I will just finally get to the point where I can spend a little bit more time in the sun. So start it very slowly, and also make sure that your internal vitamin D levels are better, because they do know that if you actually have decent vitamin D levels, you have a better chance of responding to the sun.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
Eating fruit versus drinking fruit juice.
It kind of depends on what fruit juice you're doing. I would always rather see people eat fruit on a regular basis, just based on one thing, the fiber content. You do have more fiber when you eat the whole fruit compared to when you juice it. There are some juices that might be a little higher concentration in sugar than most people want to consume. But I would tell you that right now, I would definitely move a little bit more towards eating fruit on a daily basis than having fruit juices. Not that fruit juices are bad. It's just that it just seems like that some people can't handle the high concentration of sugars. Now, if you keep your calorie intake down and have some juice, you're probably gonna be okay. But having a little excess calories, I'd rather get it from some other thing than actually fruit juice itself.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
What are good coconut oil allergy alternatives?
Okay, it depends. If you want to put on your skin, I would move maybe more towards like a beef tallow, or you can even use some avocado oil. When you're cooking, I would do the same exact thing. I would actually start with some, beef tallow or some, other animal fat that you can cook with, or I would actually have some, avocado oil, olive oil. Maybe if you're just, sauteing, you don't want to, kind of deep fry or actually have high heat with olive oil. But what I do is actually if you're looking for both skin and cooking, move right into some beef tallow, probably be your best form of everything to start.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
Does foot strength affect my posture?
Oh, by far it does. That's why people that have loss of arch or any foot issue, you can even change your pelvis just on how you walk based on foot issues. Remember, the foot is no different than the spine as far as there's a network of joints and bones and things there that are going to allow you to actually step on them properly, and therefore it's going to change your knee. It's going to change your hip itself. It's going to change your hip socket, and it can even affect your spine. So the old electric company, you remember kids, they had all the cartoons in the morning, and they say, your hip bone's connected to your thigh bone, and all the whole song that way. Can't sing, so trust me, you don't want me to go through it. But the idea is this, and just think by nature, it's a little bit of foundational. That's why people that have flat feet sometimes have a little bit more structural issues, because it's meant to take some of the things from that arch. If you don't have that, it can lead to other structural problems.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
How long should I be in the sun daily during the summer?
Oh, remember, that's different per person. I will tell you right now, having 4 daughters, how they react to the sun is dramatically different for each one of them. I have one that can pretty much sit in the sun all day and she turns brown very quickly. I have 2 of them that they have to go like I do, go in, come out until they get a decent response of having melanin to your skin, have a little bit more tan. Otherwise they burn and they'll peel and stuff, and you don't want to do that. So what you want to do is it'll differ per person. And I would say start out with 15, 20 minutes and then go back in and see if your skin actually touch it and see if you can tell if there's redness there. You just do not want to burn your skin. Remember, anything in excess is damaging to the body. And so remember, do not have this fallacy that the sun is bad for you, but staying out there too long can create some oxidative stress and damage to the tissue, so you don't want to do that either.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
What are some benefits of the sunlight?
Oh, there's so many of them. And I would say, number one, everybody knows there's hormone production that does happen. And that's why you hear so much about vitamin D, which can affect every area of your body. Vitamin D affects everything in the body. So having some decent not excessive exposure of sun is such a health benefit. But there's a lot of infrared that does come from the sun. There's other waves that we cannot see. There's other color light that we cannot see. And that's why I hear a lot about red light therapy. Well, we can get that from the sun too. And therefore, when we do this, it actually has massive health benefits. For example, if you ever notice that there is a lot of melatonin production when you have certain red light and infrared. So that's why when people stay out in the sun for a long period of time, do you ever notice that, let's say you went on vacation or you're out in the sun for a long time, you kind of get a little tired because you do have good melanin production. You hear this all the time. Oh, the kids were outside playing all day long. They just wore themselves out. Well, they also produced a significant amount of melatonin from being in the sun. So therefore, puts them in bed a little better and they sleep better. So there's so many things that we have no idea that could be the benefit from the sun. I think there's much more than we even study, even know about. It's just that let's start with good melatonin production, good infrared, good vitamin D production. And so I think that affects everything in the body.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
What's a good, easy breakfast for everyone in the family?
Scrambled eggs. I think that scrambled eggs would be extremely simple. Now, once again, if you're allergic to eggs, that's different. Then I'd move towards some meat source. I would say, do some bacon, actually, obviously not processed, good organic stuff that way. Good organic free range eggs and stuff. So it's like, obviously, cage free and everything to make sure that they're outside on a regular basis. So they're always roaming, so the good chickens. But I would honestly tell you, you can make scrambled eggs so quickly. And you can add things in like peppers and onions and put some good seasoning on there, like garlic and everything. That's a massive benefit. And it's very quick, very easy. You can make a big scrambled boiled egg bowl of it that way and then put it in there and cook up really quickly. I think it's fast, easy, and then you get massive protein, choline, other great nutrients in an egg yolk that's so beneficial for the body. But remember, allergies trump everything. So, but I'd start with those two things to think about.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
Should I always avoid the filthy 15?
Well, they're called the filthy 15 because they just seem to have a lot of excessive processing and chemicals and stuff on them. So therefore, do I think it's a benefit of doing it? Yeah. Having something bad, I would tell people, we're going to always give you the best advice not to stress your body out with anything that your body has to work so much to get rid of. There's always a processing process to make sure that you digest food. But then if you have a lot of pesticides and herbicides and fungicides on those things, your body still has to deal with that. So therefore, if it's putting a little more energy expenditure, a little bit more problems with the body, trying to rid that stuff, and liver has to work a little bit harder. And there's so many things your liver has to work with constantly just to even deal with things just for you to survive. I just say, just try to avoid as much things as possible. I know it's sometimes impossible to avoid things. I do. I understand, especially if you travel, especially if you have a job that gets you in different places. I can also tell you, truck drivers have it really difficult because unless they're stopping at the grocery stores or going through things, that's why they have truck stops and everything. And there just seems to be a lot of highly processed stuff when they're doing that. And the least you put in there, the better. So avoiding those things just takes a burden off your body that you don't have to regularly deal with.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
What are some keys to stay hydrated in the heat?
It obviously having enough through the day, little sips, not just pounding it down hard, but using some maybe electrolyte powder. Make sure there's some salt in there. But I think there's wonderful electrolyte powders out there. I don't have any ties to them. Just find a really good one. There's a lot of them out there. So I'd be sipping on that through the day. I would never want to just like try to flood my system with water and be dehydrated and just flood it. No, just take little sips through the as you're outside and being active and everything, and try not to like become really low and then try to just down the water as much as possible. I would actually be taking sips of electrolyte drink through the course of the day I'm out in the sun.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
How can I slim down in 1 week?
Oh, I know what you're asking, but you can't. You can lose some water weight and a little bit of fat if you really drop your calories down. I would say, and I don't want to encourage anybody to do this because it would be very difficult, and I would never want to see a woman do this. But the idea is fast for 1 week. Everybody will lose weight if they fast, just because by nature you have 0 calories going in. But if you want to see some puffiness go down very quickly, fast for over 72 hours. So that week, just fast. Say you drop down to no calories, your body's going to, deplete itself of glycogen. You're going to deplete yourself of certain, water. And if you want to, and I make sure to drink through the time, but even when you drop glycogen, you have less water. And so therefore you do see a slimming effect. Now you're going to lose mass amount of weight in a week. No, but if you do fast for a week, you will drop weight. You will look thinner. Now I would say that would be a very, unhealthy way of doing it. Now, if you want to do it for religious reasons, stuff like that, great. But if you really want to slim down fast, just put nothing in.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yep.
How important is it to eat organic?
Well, this may surprise you. The first thing I always look at is having the most minimally processed, focus on proteins that you can. Okay. So, and it might not be organic. Okay. Do I want to see people have less stress in their body and try to eat the least things that have, herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides and other processing? Absolutely. So the more you move towards organic, but you gotta be careful because there's gonna be organic things I just wouldn't even touch either. But the idea is this: is you do have less involvement of, herbicides, fungicides, and pesticides, less processing when you do have organic. So over time, would I like you to see move you more in that direction? Sure, I do. Because you're just gonna have a different quality of food that way, less processed. And you have some highly processed organic things that are crackers and cookies and things like that. And those are organic, and I'd say let's talk about stay away from them a little bit because they're just still highly processed. You just have less things and a little bit more, let's say, natural things that you can eat when you move organically that way. So I would say, is it important? Sure. I'd rather make sure that you get sufficient nutrients. So therefore focus on proteins, add some cruciferous in, have some decent berries and fruits and they can be non-organic and still do really well. It's just that I would just focus on things that are the most important to get is your macro and micronutrients, and then worry more about the cleanliness probably later.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yep.
Should I avoid eating hot dogs?
Well, once again, it depends if you get a hot dog that's made with good organic, the beef or chicken. If you look at the most standard form of an average hot dog, I would probably say avoid them. But, we have brats and hot dogs all the time. It's just that they are greatly sourced, good protein sources that is really no different than eating a chunk of meat. It's just put into a hot dog type of form. And they have chicken ones, they have beef ones that are fantastic for you. So it comes down to sourcing. You have a good source, you'll be just fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yep.
Is beef tallow good to put on a skin?
For the vast majority of people, yes. I do like beef tallow. Remember, anybody can react to anything, especially when put on your skin. I've seen people react to olive oil on their skin. I've seen people react to coconut oil. I've seen people react to beef tallow. I would just find what you like the most. I do think that beef tallow creams and lotions are absolutely fantastic, but also I believe it's also fantastic for cooking oil. So there's certain ingredients in beef tallow that you're trying to get that I think is amazing. And there's also benefits of coconut oil on the skin. There's also benefits of using those both for cooking. So therefore, I think that they have wonderful products out there that are coming in beef tallow form that I think are just come from good grass-fed cows. I think would be a massive benefit.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
Does pool water damage my hair and skin?
Well, it depends what's in the pool water. When I had a pool, we had hydrogen peroxide based, and then we also had a salt filter, and things worked really well. If you have some of the current, chemistry they use in pools, I'd be a little concerned, and especially sometimes from the higher doses of chlorine. Now, once again, it also can affect the microbials of your skin. So be very careful what touches your skin, just like what goes in your mouth. So it's very hard for me to want to go to a public pool, even though sometimes public pools are the only place people can go. So I understand why they go. Or for example, it'd be very difficult to me living here in Green Bay to go jump in the bay. Not the cleanest thing in the world to go into. So I tell people it's just do what you feel is necessary. But if you're noticing a reaction after getting out of the pool, I would probably tell you to avoid it.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, Doc.
Yep.
How much fruit should I consume?
It depends. Depends on your size, activity level. I will have at least a cup of fruit per day, and it may range sometimes just having a cup of blueberries. Maybe vast majority, I try to mix it between blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and also throw some kiwi in there. I think there's massive benefits, and I have some strawberries every once in a while. It's going to surprise people. I like strawberries, but it's actually probably my least favorite berry. I would actually rather eat a kiwi than I would have than a strawberry. So I say a good cup a day is pretty good. I like to see the benefits of what blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, and kiwis and strawberries bring. So are all the fruits decent? Sure they are. I just like them the most.
Thank you.
Welcome. Hey everyone, for unedited, full-length, unapologetic content, go to my website, drpatrickflynn.com. Hit the subscribe button to join our community for more amazing content like this every day.